Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Valorant PH Blitz Series number 1. This is, of course, brought to you by Endgame Gear. This is the Endgame Gear tournament, and my name is Daks.
And of course, my name is Vyminal. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome indeed, and Mr. Vyminal, it's the Blitz Series. This is the first, foremost, and our, of course, inaugural Blitz Series tournament. And basically, guys, what is the credo here of the Blitz Series? It's pretty simple. Speed lang. Some smaller tournaments for you all, able to give you guys that gear, able give you guys some faster tournaments. And the Blitz Series, a brainchild, of course, of Valorant PH, and some lovely folks along the way, is gearing up to be an amazing time. And speaking of amazing time here, Vim, what is up for grabs today here in our first ever Blitz Series tournament?
So up for grabs for the Grand Champion winners, we have 5 XM1 gaming mice. We have 5 mouse bungees from Endgame Gear as well. And of course, we have 5 mouse pads as well. And of course, these are just not your ordinary mouse pads. Again, I say this a lot, that mouse pads really affect how you game. And these are, of course, very high quality mouse pads from Endgame Gear as well.
In-game gear, amazing stuff, really. That XM1, I was looking around online, and it's a pretty expensive beast right there. It's around $73, and you're giving away 5 of them. That's a big investment here from the side of Endgame, and I really think that the people joining in our Blitz series today are looking for a better mouse experience. So Endgame gear might be your end-all gear in the end. But of course, we are also brought to you by Rotobox Philippines, their partner, right, who has been distributing, who's been really promoting the products here and there. They've been such a great part of the community, and we're really glad to be working with them because, in all honesty, this has been a partnership long in the making. But we are here in our first ever Blitz series, and we are going to get into our first semifinal. Who's playing here, Vyminal?
Of course, we have Samurice versus CTNX. Now, both of these teams, Mr. Daks, we've seen them make their runs throughout the local circuits. Of course, Samurice being the team with a little bit more experience over CTNX here, because CTNX was just a newly formed team. But of course, they've proved themselves to be very formidable. So for the side of Samurice, we have Lupianus, John G, Yon Diamond, Swez, and Shiro, rather. For CTNX, we have Haps, Allseen Tricks, and Rex.
Yeah, and that's a pretty solid roster on both sides. And the funny thing about these two teams as well, they have both proven to be stalwarts in the Valorant PH scene. Both of these teams have gotten a runner-up slot in a Valorant PH related tournament. For the previous Go for Glory Cup, it was Samurice, our first runner-up, and as well as on the Valorant Rising Cup, it was CTNX. So it's pretty interesting that we will see these two teams duke it out. They have proven, though, that they can make it to the top. And of course, guys, we're becoming this semifinal. We're going to be covering the other semifinal and the grand finals for you all. Best of 1 action. And I do believe we are going to be having our first map here, Vim. And I think it will be Bind for this matchup.
All right. And again, I'd just like to reiterate, this is the point of VPH Blitz. It's just super fast. And, best of one. Then we get to the grand finals. It just happens, really, it's like in your face. And then we get to the results,
It really feels like it. I didn't think we were ready, and then suddenly, boom, get to the next gear. We are good to go. And speaking of good to go, it seems like we are going to be able to get into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Bind is our battleground, and here we do have our two teams. CTNX going to be on the defense, Samurice on the offense. Seems like though both sides are just fixing up a few technical issues here. But at the same time, guys, there is a giveaway going on. We are live on both Facebook and Twitch, and if you are checking out on Facebook, then you can join our giveaway. Just like and share that stream, hit up those hashtags and all the like. You can pretty much check it out over there on what is being given out in the first place. And if you're on Twitch, just quickly pop over to FB, especially if you're from the Philippines. You're gonna be able to check something out there from Endgame Gear. We'll get confirmation on what exactly that is later on, but it really feels like there's so much generosity right now from the side of Endgame Gear.
Absolutely. And now we have the match timer is resuming right here. Quickly running through the lineups for the side of Samurice. We got Raze, Sova, Brimstone, Cypher, and Sage. And for CTNX here, we got a Cypher, Raze, Brimstone, Phoenix, and Sage.
Yeah, and seems like our little observer right there having those purple outlines a little different. And hey, Mr. Vim, have you ever changed your outline color? That's something.
Oh, yeah.
That's something I tried to experiment with it, purple, yellow, and I think it really just depends on who is playing. But here we go already with the offensive from the side of Samurice. They're going for this B short take, splitting it up though onto both sides, and we see this a lot from Samurice. They're very disciplined at going for pincer attack, and it seems like already with that first kill onto the Brimstone, that's how they start things off. But Rex in the meantime catching out John G. Goodbye to the Brimstone, 4v4 right now, and Samurice cutting their losses, moving over to A site instead.
That was a pretty quick rotation. They went for a pretty standard sort of B execute right there. Really good bait and switch.
And there you go, it's gonna be a little bit of a takedown. Haps too will find a kill, and Curtsy also on the board. CTNX trying to get on back, and they clean up house. What a defense here from the side of CTNX, a really good start. And Vim, how did that transition go so quickly for the defense?
Yeah, so they went for a pretty standard B execution, and for the side of Samurice, and they quickly sort of bailed and used the teleporter. And the thing is, with a map like Bind, when you choose to go to the opposite side, and after going for a fake like that, it's very, very easy to read because you have that sound cue of like multiple TPs going out, right? So
yeah,
it's a very, very quick rotate coming in from the defense connector side of B. Going back onto A site. So all they had to do was basically, okay, we heard all the TPs, now we run back to A. And yeah.
Yeah, just like, it's a big sound cue, right? Even though in Bind, you can rotate a lot quicker on the attack, which makes the sides pretty even on both sides. It's not going to be enough if your opponent is waiting for it. And here we go right now with the offensive yet again. This time, Samurice is on an eco round, so they will be trying their luck onto an A take. Moving over to the lamps. This is what we want to see from Samurice. We can talk about that later on from Mr. Yondaime. But Swez is the one taking its ground. He doesn't really have that utility set up right now. Spike, though, going to get planted on over. It seems like it's a hold close here from the race so far, as CTNX is coming ever so closer with the flank.
They can be really aggressive here because CTNX, they do have the gun advantage, and they know that. And look how aggressive their defense is coming into this second round. So this is a pretty typical of what we expect to see so far.
Yeah, and Trick's gonna be falling down to the hand of John there after he gets that Spectre, but Allison comes on back, gets that takedown. Curtsy also on the board, so it really feels like here for CTNX, we got the complete roster. It's the matchup, it's the roster that we expect as from them, and big shoutouts, of course, to Oasis Gaming right there, really supporting these orgs. It really feels like that these community teams are coming together here, Vim, and really supporting the scene so far.
Absolutely. And here we have CTNX courtesy now going for the operator as early as round 3. Time and time again, we usually say this is a bit of a risk play, sort of high risk, high reward here. So we'll see how this plays out. Could be very disastrous for them if the operator falls to the hands of the opposing team.
Hey, but Curtsy might be the one to be able to be that saving grace, and they are up 2-0 right now. And if CTNX can keep up this momentum, well, Samurice is going to have a tough time at finding back their economy. But we've seen Samurice fight back a lot before, even though in this deficit. And it does seem like they are going to have Suez here, as well as their Sova, keeping an eye out on A. So it might be a fake rotation. It might be a B push moving into an A side instead, but Lucanus, he will open things up, and we have seen this Raze player do miracles so far into the Samurice run.
Yeah, we've seen him time and time again just do incredible things, especially over here at Hookah on sort of this standard B protocol. But what wasn't standard was the Phoenix sort of venturing out onto market on the defense, and that could, they could definitely pay the price for that here.
And here we go already with a spike plant, but John gonna get caught out by Curtsy, and it seems like this all-in gamble working out so far. The Raze right now keeping an eye out, going for the diagonal here, and it's pretty simple right now. Throw out that Boombot once, and also get that Pain Shells on. Curtsy knowing exactly what to do into a site like this, knowing those angles, but Lucanus holding close and turns around to get rid of Haas, but it seems like it's miscommunication there for the side of Samurice because no one is holding in front, and CTNX, they just bum rush their way to victory so quickly. And this is such a good start here for the defense.
Absolutely, they're doing it. This is a score 3-0. And every time this happens, we say it doesn't really bode well for the team that stands in the deficit right now, because having a 3-0 scoreline means, there's a really good economic advantage for the defensive team, CTNX here.
Yeah, CTNX, they are just keeping it up, going for the eco. And speaking of CTNX, I'm checking out the run real quick into the brackets, beating out the likes of Smoke Summit and LG Valorant in the meantime for Samurice against Team Daman and MMK. So some really good contenders in all honesty, moving over to the semi-final. But in the end, we got our two runner-ups, and the question here is, Ben, will one of these two teams be able to show that they are not just runner-up material but champion material? Because Olsen playing inside the shower right now, they'll be able to clean up Swizz. And I like how CTNX is playing aggro right now in the shower, because they see that Samurice is a team that likes to take every single angle here on Bind.
Absolutely. And double peeking showers like that, again, very risky, but so far all their risk plays really paying off right here as John Kicks takes down Courtesy.
That's a really good pick off there, and the Slewed Brimstone's gonna be trading blows. Seems like, though, for Samurice, yet again, it is gonna be a man down. And with the run it back, aggression is in order. Trix is going for his own kind of trick. Lupinus doesn't have the firepower, even though he had the angle, and it's an easy takedown there for CTNX. But Concept, paying attention to this idea, gonna be able to get rid of the Phoenix. Olsen has gotten 3 so far. Yondaime is creeping so close. Maybe he can steal a Sheriff before the round ends. But overall here, Vim, what has been the CTNX storyline so far?
CTNX storyline, they've been going for their comfort picks. We've seen them play this same composition before. And conversely, for the side of Samurice, I don't think I've ever seen Yondaime on a Cypher, which is pretty interesting. So perhaps we see some shades of new tactics here. Samurice just really playing extremely confidently all over the map, especially Trix just going out, all out on that aggressive defense, venturing onto market, keeping showers in check, and then just going into the aggro TP into hookah. Trix is just playing this really, really well right here.
Yeah, and it really does feel like a CTNX. These guys are looking to destroy and impress. And we got a word, of course, from our admin side that for our giveaways, we have some MPJ 890 mouse pads. And those are some really sleek mouse pads, right, from Endgame gear. I think we can attest as how smooth they are, Mr. Vim. You just slide your mouse through. It's really amazing. And that is also our giveaway for our FB audience. If you guys are tuning in on Twitch, just head on over, drop a comment, hit that share. Don't forget that it has to be public so we can see your hashtags. And it is what it is here from Endgame gear. It's still those CTNX with 4-0 right now. And we didn't really expect a start like this, Vim.
Yeah, I did not for 1 second expect to see such a dominant scoreline this early on. But do keep in mind that as Olsen takes out Yondaime like that, that Bind is pretty much a defense-sided map, at least in my humble opinion.
In terms of Bind, it really does feel like if you're able to get those chokeholds, it does become a lot more difficult for the attack to do pretty much anything. But in retake, though, that's where the problem lies sometimes. Because for CTNX, even though they have the numbers advantage, there's still a chance here for the side of Samurice with those positions inside the lamps, keeping an eye out. John, though, has gotten 2 Olsen right now, and Courtesy going to be able to get on the board as well with the Operator and that's Orbital Strike, respectively. But here we go with Concept. I like his angles. He's trying to line it up here in the shower, and he's just shocking and awing anyone on top of that spike. And this is what Samurice on the back. It's too little too late. Courtesy will be able to get the defuse before he falls, and CTNX able to eke one out. 5-0, Vim. What is going on here with Samurice?
What is going on? I mean, this is definitely not what I was expecting. Beautiful plays there coming in from Concept. Definitely a Sova main, and I'm sure Mr. Observer is having a hell of a time right there. But still, to no avail. Just off by about 1 second. And really great presence of mind during that retake, during that DVs. They were aware that the Sova lineups were coming. And the problem with Hunter's Fury is that, it takes 3 ticks or at least 2 ticks to definitely take down an agent, right? And he just had to tank it, and it worked out.
Unfortunate, right? And it really was just that cast time also, but I gotta say, big balls there on Courtesy, and it pays off. That is just absolute discipline. When you see so much lightning, you want to be hiding on the inside. You want to say, okay, there's no going outside here, and there we go already. CTNX is so confident. They even have Rex sticking into the middle container spot. And we talk about this a lot on Bind, Mr. Vim, that it really feels like if you play these aggro angles, you can be rewarded, but at the same time punished if your opponent can deal with you. Lupin is still looking to deal with things with that showstopper, and that is just gonna be a blow-up dynamite onto Rex. That is a takedown there. And Samurice right now is waiting for, but Haps gets a line, he gets two. Concept will get the refrag on, but Yonzaime and Suez caught napping. And Samurice right now, okay, Allison even winning out the operator there. Showstopper in order, Courtesy again into the front line, trying to bait things out. And no one is home though. Samurice taking some deep angles. And okay, Lupianus, you have to hit those shots to win this game. John has 1 HP and a dream. This dream is dead already. And CTNX has found the X Factor. Samurice is just unable to find an angle here.
Here's what I think, Mr. Daks. I really believe that was sort of the best execute they've done so far this entire game. Like 6 rounds in, I think they really needed to commit to one side, a sort of classic V protocol right there coming in from the offense. So unfortunately, not being able to defend a post plant, they just missed those crucial shots. It almost seemed as if there was a bit of a delay there, especially that operator duel concept coming in from Allison, right? Yeah. Just missed that crucial shot.
So
here's
unfortunate.
The team huddle is in play as well.
you love to see the team huddle, don't you, Vim? But I gotta ask you real quick. Samurice, they have their plays, they have their style, they have their takes, but it feels like there's just something missing. There's something missing right now from them, that we're not getting the big boom that we expect from Samurice, because conceptually, they have such a good game plan. We've seen it in terms of their position. We've seen it in terms of their takes, and we've seen it even with that solo play, but something small is just going wrong. They're not winning these easy duels. They're not getting the proper timings, and it's costing them rounds that they should have taken. I would really expect that from what we saw from past 6 rounds, this should be at least a 4-2 score line. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 3-3, but no. The reality here is CTNX has been able to clutch it out against Samurice due, in fact, of those small little things. And I really feel, from what I've seen so far, it's not so much what CTNX is doing, but Samurice is just tripping at the finish line right now. And I hope to see them figure that out fast, because we see that they're able to execute so well, but then everything falls apart. I don't know what's going wrong with them.
Everything falls apart when CTNX goes for the retake. And again, we saw that in that previous round, Suez and Yondaime was just not anticipating that off angle coming in from the Cypher of CTNX there, right? He was able to bag that very easy 2K that arguably should never have happened in the first place.
It really does feel like
I think that cost them the round, especially Concept just missing that operator duel. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, Samurice though, their tournament life is on the line. This is a best of 1. This is the Blitz series, and like that namesake, speed lang guys, speed lang talaga. It really is all about getting these games quickly done. We've had a great tournament so far with around 20 plus teams joining on in. It does feel like though for CTNX, they're looking to -1 onto that count with their play 6-0 right now. And a shower aggression again by Lulabs was throwing down the slow orb, making sure that they will have a fighting chance. Allison though, in the meantime, he's exposing his position, and Swez will get that kill. He gets 2, and this is the Swez experience we have been looking for so far, Vim.
Yeah, absolutely. And sort of a blitzkrieg onto showers indeed. This is what we are used to seeing when it comes to Samurice gameplay, but Courtesy just shuts that down.
Courtesy, he had the angle, missed the operator shot, but at the very least, he makes the paint shells and the ghost count. Concept in the meantime, though, gonna get one back. Boom! Again! This man is a prospector in the Wild West, and it seems like he's blowing up things to Kingdom Come. Speaking of blowing up things, Rex will finalize it against Suez, and there you go again, Vim. Samurice does something so correctly, and then out of nowhere, CTNX, by sleet, rain, snow, whatever kind of clutch they have, they are able to win it out yet again. And I feel like the first turning point of this game was that operator on the 3rd round not getting punished.
Absolutely. When you give operator a free reign that early on in the game, especially in a map like Bind, where there's so many easy angles to play the operator on, you're definitely going to be at a disadvantage, and you definitely got to punish that. But strategically, I don't think Samurice is doing anything wrong. It's just sort of these little errors, as you mentioned earlier, that are just adding up to a compounding effect.
And Rex even catching out Concept, even though he gets spotted already by the Recon bolts. It just feels like CTNX is a little bit faster. But okay, Tricks, you are gonna get blown up to Kingdom Come Orbital Strike right now, forcing out the hot hands. It just feels like here that for CTNX, they are getting these wins no matter what Samurice does, as shown on Belong.
Yeah, speaking of hot hands, man, it's just CTNX absolutely on fire. Seems that every single one of them is just pretty much on point. I mean, check this out. Lucanus winning that duel finally.
Still shaky though here, Vim. 2 kills right now for the side of Samurice. Finally, I think this is the first time we've seen them have the advantage coming into a pre-plant situation. And this will give them the, well, maneuverability to go wherever the hell they want. Onto a site, perhaps, with the smokes in order. Quick little execute here from Samurice. I love Samurice discipline. Finally, it's a safe plant with the wall. And this is going to be looking good so far for our attacking side.
Very standard execution coming in here. So the CTNX right now, they know how to counter this. They still have paint shells and of course a molly from Brimstone over there. So they could sort of deny that, but we'll see.
And Olsen gonna be denying the life of John there. Easy takedown with the Phantom Paint Shells right now to clean things up. And Untitled, he's home! And there you go! He finally made it here! He's into the lamp! Swizz is gonna get that kill! Untitled, come on! Prove to us that you are the lamp god yourself! It is gonna be expectations, and yes, he has done it! See them, this is what Samurice needs. They need to play back into their style and see Untitled into lamps as one of the best things. Because in all honesty, this is not really a joke, guys. Untitled is one of the best lamps players I have ever seen in the local scene. He knows how to really use every single angle there, as proven as he just baited out his opponent. Finally got one for Samurice, and they have made it home so far. They need to keep up this momentum, though.
I mean, arguably, Samurice really feels at home in a map like Vine. We've seen him do some incredible things over at Hookah, over at Lamps, of course, coming from the Diamond Swizz. But at a scoreline of 7-1, you know, still very doable. You know, we might even see a 75 scoreline momentum shift happen here. But, you know, 7-1 is just not what we imagined here, Daks.
Exactly. This is not a scoreline you'd expect against the battle of true, tried, and tested teams. But for now, Samurai is going to be able to play their split push approach and look for angles here and there. I think for Samurais, they do love to play it a little slow sometimes when they do a lineup like this. And one thing to note, though, is CTNX is playing this very old school. Since they have the confidence that on B side, they only need their 2 Sentinels, they're keeping 2 on B, making sure that A is the one covered with multiple players instead. A little bit of the older meta, but if it works and if Samurais is unable to really scare CTNX off in a plant situation, then it does pan a lot better here for the defense so far, especially with the space that A side gives. But Tricks right now preventing John from even getting close. Hunter's Fury is there. Showstopper though in order, and up the ABC. Currency is just gonna bring the rocket launcher and make sure that is just gonna be one desert waste that does turn into glass instead. Concept though in the meantime by the Cubby with his raise, and seems like this is gonna be the Sova lining things up. Heaven defense though from the side of CTNX.
There's very little they can do at this point. 4v2 situation, though anything can happen. But what we see CTNX doing here is that they sort of turned down their aggression and sort of reacted to that failure in the previous round. But Tricks, rather Concept, just absolutely on fire here right now.
Yeah, it really is. But here we go with him falling on down. Tricks will clean it up. CTNX having such good clutch here from the Phoenix, and we have seen Tricks pull it off, but look at those kills. Allison right now with 13 on the board. The Brimstone has been having a pretty low-key game, and I do think that's due in fact because of his proper orbital strike so far. Really placed well to allow CTNX's 8-1 scoreline.
I mean, we don't see him get a lot of the first bloods here coming in. You know, you have Tricks playing very aggressive defense, and he's been getting a lot of impact frags. But, you know, Allison just sitting on top of the scoreboard, you know, as a Brimstone, in order to get frags, you really have to be, you know, on top of your positioning right there. And I think that's what's happening. And yeah, there's so many times that he just catches the opponent's off guard.
Surprise, surprise. But here we go with the curveball. Tricks playing the aggro, but look at that! Samurice looking to hug the corner! And we've seen this before here from Samurice. They are so good at punishing the punish. They are so good at going against CC. And even better with those goals, because they get the kill already. This is an eco round for them. And with the gun in hand, this does give them a fighting chance on these sites.
Strangely, coming into the eco rounds is usually where they get a few frags on the board.
It really is. It's just some clutch here. Lupin is dueling against Austin, but that is a proper flank there. Young Diamond, though, with the Bulldog already in hand. 3v1. The Cypher has clutched that before, but can he do it again? No, it's not going to work out. And CTNX, a dominant scoreline here. We've seen the fight from Samurice, but sometimes it's really all about that scoreboard. And 9-1 is very telling.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard because they're not really doing anything wrong strategically, but they're sort of losing their duels here. I don't think we're seeing Samurice in their top form today, as we've seen them perform against very strong opponents in the past, and sort of a lopsided scoreline is sort of unprecedented until this point against a team like Samurice, but it's just that Trix is doing a very good job at playing a forward defense, and Allison there taking control of showers as well.
Yeah, and Sweds North now keeping an eye out yet again. And don't forget, guys, we are live on 2 sites. We're on Twitch at twitch.tv/DaksPH, and we are on Facebook at fb.gg/ValorantPHGG. So if you have any issues with the stream on one, check out the other, and vice versa. We all know that there has been internet issues here in the PH side, and we want to make sure that you guys can check out the action so far. But the Undaime will be dropping down that spike. Samurice, yet again, with that ATC plant. We've seen them use a lot of utility before to set things up. This time the Cypher Cage is there. No real wall so far, though, from Samurice into this setup.
So far, their APC plan has been the most successful execution they have throughout this entire game, so I won't be surprised if they won't be trying for B anytime soon.
Oh, Lupinus though, and Curtsy gonna be getting one apiece, and that is gonna be Concept getting on the board. CTNX though taking advantage on the numbers, and Untitled is sticking by the Cubby this time. He's spraying, Sweats up top, and this is looking good for Samurice, because Sweats is a watchtower. He will not stop whatsoever. That's a wall though to set on up. 2 Cyphers dueling, run on into the TP, and Haps is waiting for another battle, but he runs out of bullets, runs out of his life, and Samurice, hey, when the plan doesn't go to the way it's supposed to, Samurice apparently can figure something out, and Swez with the boost on top to give Samurice the boost they need to get a point. 0 lead here on this half. Samurice is looking pretty secure so far into their confidence.
We're seeing Loop pretty much on the same defensive position he's been doing the past couple rounds, so I won't be surprised if he gets pre-fired here.
Oh, yep, there you go. He does. Really good call there from the side of CTNX. They go to the east angle. They get that takedown. Spike gonna get planted already. And the attacking side moving on over as well. CTNX all set up. Having these long angles inside the cubby here already. Seems like though the plant will be in order, of course, by the shower there. and with the wall to segregate whatever the side of Samurice wants to do. It's gonna be the defense trying to force things out, but there we go with a takedown already. Easy kill onto Tricks as well as Allison. Okay, that's Samurice coming closer and closer, and this is just a good cascade so far, but the Brimstone falling on down to that quick little satchel, and this is Curtsy playing peekaboo, but no, he will fall in the end against Yon Diamond, but has enough time been bought? No, it doesn't seem like that. The Cypher gets the defuse, and Samurice, oh, that was a sweaty one though. They will be able to win another round.
Yeah, that was sort of too close for comfort. 2 seconds left on the clock, but Samurai is just hanging on, trying to do their best to sort of even the scoreline. That was a very good win streak so far for them, and we might actually see a comeback sort of mounted here for the side of Samurais. They're sitting in an okay spot.
And they really feel like that this is their time to shine. This is the comeback that is waiting to happen. And the question is, can it actually be any different? Because there we go with the smokes being down already. John, wanting to push into the shower. And what do you think about Samurai's defense so far, Mr. Vim? What are they doing right that is giving them these rounds?
I think they've been doing pretty standard defense protocols. Of course, a quick adjustment going 3B instead of 3A this time.
And that allows them to answer back against Curtsy with that entry frag concept, now holding on to the Cubby. And we've seen Concept do this before, but Allison with the Sheriff in hand, but never mind, Yon Diamond Swizz quickly making those Sentinels get back in action. Hapso in the meantime on the west side, gonna have to do a little bit of the push yet again. Camera work is in order. And for Samurais, it's a 2v1 situation again, but we see CTNX play it clutch, and yes, it is gonna be Haps hopping onto these corpses. What a turnaround here from CTNX. In a situation where they didn't have the better eco, what a way to win this round.
That was absolutely huge. And if Samurai was able to win that, that would have been, setting them up for a really comfortable economical state and sort of solidify their momentum shift. But that was just a really good thrifty round coming in from CTNX right there. Haps just clutching it out. You can see how sticky, all of their aim is right now. Just absolutely on fire for the side of CTNX here.
Yeah, they take those guys. They take those indeed. But here we go yet again. Alton's right now gonna be all the way into, well, B sides. It seems like this is the plan here for CTNX, splitting up yet again. A little bit of the lurk toe from the side of the Cypher. CTNX we'll clutch it out before. Question is, can they do it again here? Them slow up already from Swez to anticipate the push. We've seen this Sage do wonders with the slow, and that is gonna be it. Curtsy will go down already, and as well as Allison, this is the Swez experience we expect. This is how they hold the line, and with an orbital strike to boot, B-site is secure.
Yeah, Swez looking right at home right there on Hookah. Perhaps a bit of a miscomm there from the side of CTNX, as a trade frag did not happen despite Swez just being in front of Allison right there. We don't typically see an operator peeking that angle from Hookah. But Taps is just... he's doing it again, Taps.
Vim! Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Haps is proving himself to be a really, really important member of the side of CTNX so far. And right now, he will get that operator, go for a peek, but holds on to the Phantom instead. Matter of comfort, perhaps. Maybe crawling on through, knowing this is a 1v3 situation. Will we see a double peek, though, from the side of the defense? Samurais right now going at it. They will get the cleanup this time. I like the respect, though, given they know Habs was able to clutch it out a while ago. They're not going to go for the duels. They play it safe. They get their eco back, and Samurais is still in this game.
Still in this game, indeed. Samurai is doing very well on defense with an operator for the side of Loop, forcing CTNX to go on a sheriff round here. But they did win this previous sheriff round over here in the second half, so I wouldn't count them out just yet. They can do some pretty amazing things with that sheriff, and it's a gun that you really talk about a lot, Dax. In the right hands, the sheriff is a very capable weapon.
Anything is possible with the sheriff. Like I always say, Mr. Vim, you know how to play the sheriff. You get those one taps. Who needs a different gun? As you see from the stats, what we show off, it's a headshot to get the kill, and 145 for a far long shot onto the head as well. So it really puts people in a critical state. But there we go. With the first takedown already from the side of Samurais. Operators yet again here for Samurais, and it seems like they're holding on to these angles really, really well with, well, their pedigree in store.
There's really not much you can do in sort of bind offense when you have an operator on either defensive side, because you only have enough smokes to give you that sort of 7 to 10 second window of execution. So once those smokes dissipate, and you only have 3 smokes in the form of brimstone, it's so hard to counter an op.
And look at this, Lupinus on Diamond, they are getting these kills yet again, making it look oh so clean and simple. But here we go with John going for that swing. And right now, CTNX, they are going to have to go for a miracle to get this round. But it feels like for Samurice, they are proving that they are not done yet. This defense has been even better compared to what CTNX has been doing so far. Or it really feels like that the momentum has shifted yet again in favor of the side onto the sites.
Perhaps speaking of momentum shift, we might see a showstopper play coming in here. We do have 3 ultimates on the side of CTNX, and I wouldn't be surprised, Daks, if we see the orbital strike and a showstopper coming in simultaneously. Of course, with that res just securing match point. This could be it for CTNX. This could be the round.
This can be it. They have their ultimates available, but Samurice also will have the same kind of thing. They have the res, they have the showstopper, and they will have that Hunter's Fury. So it seems like from a 5v5, this can turn into a 6v6 scenario if need be. Sounds like a different game, but hey, this is Valorant, and here we go yet again onto A site. 2-3 split push here from CTNX. Cypher, though, is already there, and Yon Daime is keeping an eye out on the Radiant so far. There we go, though, with Boomba thrown on. Shot through the smoke. This guy does. He's looking to punish as well the res, but that is going to be another kill from Lupinus, doing the same angle, getting the same takedown, and it's an easy kill on the Courtesy twice in a row. Concept also with the lineup. Samurice investing their ultimates and getting the best returns here. 2v5 situation though. Yon Daime with the swing. Swez with the backstab. And that is that. Samurice is able to win it out yet again. And what a turn of events into this game.
Absolutely, and we did see all those ultimates coming into play except for that res on the side of Samurice. Arguably, like the sort of game changer in that round was Loop getting that operator kill onto that showstopper raise through the smoke. Oh, actually, he didn't activate the showstopper that round, but he denied that showstopper for that round at least, and that was a very big game changer, I think.
Yeah, so the Raze didn't do anything. Why? Because he died twice.
Because he was dead. He was dead.
He was dead. What is dead stays
he
dead.
Was died.
You know. Okay, Vim, I got a question for you. If you're dead, what can you do?
Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Exactly.
You're dead.
You're dead. No. So, you know, rip and pepperonis there for our Raze. But here we go again on CTNX. They're going for another split push, this time on B. They were like, okay, not A. But okay, Lupinus already has rotated. He's already here. Yeah. So I think the whole okay. You know, I'm trying to make a point where it's like, okay, he's here. Never mind. Time to avoid it. It's like when you have that person you know, but you don't really like them so much, and you're trying to avoid them as much as possible because you know are gonna be there. But in the end, you run to each other in the bathroom or on the stage or whatever you're gonna be. Maybe at the table, you're seated right beside each other, and it gets a little awkward. And that's exactly what happened there. Samurice is that guy who will not take no for the answer. They're being very confrontational right now. And with the 4v2, they are very, very confident in this kind of hold here on B side. But the showstopper is something we are still keeping an eye out on here for CTNX. And they threw the paint shells already. Courtesy might be able to get a surprise kill if he finds anyone here. But someone is waiting for him, Vim.
This very cheeky spot under hookah concept is he has the right idea. He has the right idea. Let me tell you that. But they're just being very, very patient here. I think for the side of Samurice, what makes them very successful in defense here is that they're utilizing the sort of double intel composition very, very well. And Loop is just getting a good read on where the opponents are going to be, making use of that operator, just shutting down the offense.
Always a shutdown, always a victory. Samurice has really gotten on back, but Rex at the very least gets the exit onto John. A little bit of the gamble, but it seems like with 9,000 money, they are pretty invested to go the long haul. And this basically means here, Vim, that Samurice will always have money. Because it means that CTNX is going to win by 2, right? But looking at their money right now, if CTNX wins twice, then the game is over. And Samurice will always have a way to contest. So they will have no excuses on the Arsenal side, they're very, very well equipped for this defense. They have gotten that early lead on the second half itself, and they are able to actually play at their best because of that. We're not seeing desperation here for Samurice. We're seeing a very, very well executed plan, and quick rotations there from Lupinus has been the ace in the hole for them to get those kills at the very start.
I think what CTNX has to do here is to figure out a way to shut down loop on that operator. Arguably, once you get rid of that op, it's just going to be so much easier to, push onto a site. But when you have a sage like Swez who knows damn well how to shut down a push onto hookah, it's a whole different ballgame. I think their best chance here would be, to go to A site. But then again, you have Yon Diamond there with his, his home.
He's not even taking his home. He took the next door lot. It's like when you see a mall suddenly built nearby and you just decide to live there instead. But it does feel
could be branching out,
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he actually bought it. So the Yondaime empire has expanded. But as I'm saying for Samurice, we saw a while ago plans were working out in their favor, right? And on the defense, the plans that work out are a lot better compared to the offense because anything can happen. But Swez in the meantime, again with the plan, and he is the man. He is the guy on hookah. He has gotten another kill. Showstopper though, in order to hear from CTNX. They are going to try to blow things up. The Kingdom Come, and Curtsy gets close enough to Lupinus to get that takedown, but another almost strike, and Concept on Yondaime. Who needs it though when you can get those kills? What a flick of the wrist over to Rex, and Samurice is just one round away from clutching it out and tying things up. What do you think here, Vim? Choke on CTNX, or is this Samurice playing too well their properties?
This is what we sort of said earlier in the game. Bind is very defense-sided. I don't know exactly why. Maybe it's sort of map design or sort of how the meta plays out in terms of agent compositions here. But statistically, time and again, throughout different tournaments, the defensive team on Bind does better than the offense team. And we might even see a comeback happening here. We might see a choke coming in from CTNX. At this point, it's a toss-up. Anything could happen.
Yeah, anything can truly happen here, but here we go again. Rex right now going to be moving on forward. Swez expanding the utility, and we have seen Swez do wonders with these slows, but at the same time, I do believe CTNX has learned their lesson after dying so many times against him. Don't push in the slow, because it is not a slow field, it is a dead field waiting to happen. And right now, this is their good chance because the utility has been utilized there from the stage already. Aldron, though, in order, Rex will be able to clean up Swez after the clean chills as well. But John, he is holding on to the long side. They get the spike drop, actually, and this will put a big dent on whatever rotation CTNX wants to do. And that's very close. Saw the leg, couldn't go for the shot, wasn't going to be a kill. But Lupinus says, thank you very much. I will get another stat on my belt.
Double operator setup here, proving to be a barrier in the defense of Samurai. It's just, man, it's so hard to counter that double operator setup in Bind, especially now that, your hard spoker is gone. He's off the board right now, at least in this round. So I do believe this round will go in the hands of Samurai, unless a hero plays in order here. Indeed. Coming in from Tricks, or, we've seen the Cypher clutch it out multiple times.
Anything happen. 15 seconds left, though, means that the window for anything to happen is running out. And okay, that might be the stopping point. But Trick's going to be able to get a kill on back. Lupinus is there as well. At the very least, though, CTNX getting rid of one operator. But this should be Samurice looking to play the retrieval instead. Overall, though, here we go. Comeback is happening. 11-11. And if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to hit that like and that share. Use the hashtags in the description, Blitz Series, RotoboxPH, and Endgame here to join our giveaway. We got some bungees as well as mousepads to be given away, if I remember correctly. We'll be getting full confirmations on that later on from our prod side. But overall, really, really good generosity here from the side of Endgame as well as Rotobox. And if you guys are watching over Twitch, then you just need to head over to FB to join that setup. Don't forget to put your post on public so we can find you. And at the same time, as we get a pause in order, it really feels like this is a real end game. And it really feels like this is such a good way to start off the Blitz series with a comeback brewing here for Samurice. What a scoreline. And Bim, from what was it at the start? 9-2? It's 2-9. It's 2-9 in reverse. It's ridiculous how they have evened things up.
They've only won one round in the second half so far. CTNX.
Oh,
CTNX has only won one round.
Oh my god, that's a That's a spicy scoreline. So it's 10-2 and 9-1 right now.
Yeah.
And that is going to be able to equalize everything. Samurice is proving why they have made it to multiple finals so far, why they have gotten a championship under their belt, why they are dueling here in the Blitz series. And I gotta say that this is really a battle of runner-ups that's going to be a grand final affair. But they're still in their semifinal, guys. After this one, it's going to be a big one because it's going to be a big debut. But for now, let's keep an eye out on this game again. Looks like the B side, though, will be contested here, Vim.
Absolutely. And I believe at this point, CTNX will be going for a standard split push, but John Kicks just shuts down Courtesy with that sort of aggressive up angle. Very nice.
You can see experience here for the side of Samurice. These guys have played multiple tactical shooters, and John is not one player that says, okay, I'm going to get baited by that shot. No, I will take the headshot instead. That's a lot cleaner and crisper. And he does have a rifle as well for backup. So you can see Samurice is using their economy to the best degree. They got those 2 rounds. We were talking about a while ago how secure they were. And since they have options right now to invest, they don't care about those stat padding. They will throw down a Phantom for free just because they need it when the push happens. CTNX, though, looking a lot more desperate, and I do believe they're playing SMGs right now. They do have 3 ultimates, though, and Hookah is the way to go.
At this point, desperation is in effect because they don't want, of course, Samurai to take match point away from them.
It's gonna be John! He's holding close. Rexo with the resurrection trick peeks from the garden. Problem there for Samurice. No one's keeping an eye out on the long side after the resurrection. It's CTNX taking advantage. There is gonna be the elbow wall though, and it does put our Rays on the other side. Neural Theft though in order. Swed's gonna be holding close alongside their Cypher there. But overall, CTNX is already set for post plant.
Really good post-plant situation here. It's going to be really tough to retake. Undaime could make something happen.
Oh, Concept though baited! And that's gonna be Swez using his buddy to try and get someone to peek. Concept will go down yet again. Might be a little salt in the wound, but sometimes you just have to take one for the team. Speaking of that one though, Rex gonna be there as well as Strix 2. Make that 3 on the board, and CTNX is just able to take advantage. But what a push. They get that kill. There we go with the res, and that was just that to allow them to go for the siege onto B site.
Yeah, definitely Trix made that happen. Doing his job as a duelist for his team, he was able to open up the site, sort of entering through B long twice, using that run it back. There's very little John Kicks could do right there, defending 2 angles at once. Perhaps another body might have been needed over there at elbow to sort of secure that, but just didn't happen. And at that point, after that post-plant situation, there's very little you can do to retake B at that point. And Swez sort of baiting out his teammate. There is no better way to do it. I think that was absolutely necessary at that point, you know.
Good try. Oh, good try nonetheless there for Samurice. And sometimes, like I said, you gotta take one for the team. But this time, though, Samurice is on the cusp. They need to survive this round to force out an overtime. And for now, with Rex onto the high ground, you're gonna be keeping an eye out here, then everywhere. Seems like, though, what's in order here for the side of CTNX? Sticking around with the split push again. Cypher with the lurk. And what's the plan here for Samurice, Vim?
Yeah, I think for Samurice, they can still stick to sort of their default defensive protocol. I wouldn't be surprised if they still get a couple of operators here, but rather they just have to be really quick on those rotates, perhaps faster than the last round. And here we see a 3B positioning.
And this is what the Blitz Cup is all about. It's all about speed. And John gonna be able to get a quick 2K. But all of a sudden, will get rid of the other Brimstone. And this buys some space here from CTNX when we have seen what they can do with this space created. Haps, he crawls on through the smoke. Doesn't care about the fog. He will get rid of Swez right there. It's gonna be all of a sudden also pushing forward. Brimstone has been doing heroics and tricks with the angle. 1 life left. Lupinus thrown for a loop, and he's looking to throw down that showstopper. He has to find out where the opposition is, though, and he's keeping an eye out with the operator here. 1 shot, 3 targets. Who can actually get taken down, though? Time is ticking, and he knows the Brimstone is on the deep corner, but he doesn't get it there. He's looking for another fight. He's looking for another angle. Showstopper now whip on up, and he will blow the Brimstone up to Kingdom Come. Rollison will go down, but the Blaze is in order. This is the proper lineup, and time is running out. That's the swing, and that's the win. CTNX doesn't care about the comeback. They make it look like a match, but it's still gonna be their victory. Samurice giving way too much at the start, and CTNX will take that slot to the grand finals and more.
It's funny you actually mentioned, one operator, three targets. It's just so difficult to win out that situation when you have an operator, not a rifle. It's just you can't really quick scope three targets. Just the reality of things. So Luke did everything he could there, sitting atop the scoreboard here as next to John Kicks, but just not enough to win out the actual objective here. Really good comeback, but just not enough. As you said, they just gave out too many rounds at the beginning.
I do think also the defining factor of that offensive there for CTNX was the clutch plays, because it was always Samurice making it hard for them, no matter what, right? There was a clutch there from Haps, then there was that thrifty win after, well, the push onto B site, and it just goes to show for CTNX, they only needed to do a few right plays. And even though Samurice could always fight, could always have something in their arsenal on that defense, it didn't matter because CTNX playing it clutch, and I really feel that one instance from CTNX pushing at the right time just gave them the rounds that they needed, because that was ridiculous. You saw, right, for Samurice, they love to hold near the hookah when they're secure about B long, but that was the problem. B long was not secure; it did not belong to them. And that is that. Samurice, though, making it a really good fight, showing that this is why they can be one of the top teams in the PH. There's always that combat factor, but again, just not enough on the offense, and we see it fall apart there for Samurice.
Absolutely. A spectacular match nonetheless, coming into the first match of the broadcast here at the Valorant PH Blitz series. And I'd like to remind everyone that we do have a giveaway, just a bit of a confirmation on what will be given away. But directions are going to be there. All you have to do is share and like the stream and comment using the caption of what team you're supporting, and of course the appropriate hashtags. But you know what, Mr. Daks, Killjoy, as Killjoy puts it, it's just everyone makes fun of German efficiency, but why do we do that?
Why
we have products like Endgame gear,
amazing,
product of German engineering, beautiful XM1 gaming mouse, 70 grams, not a honeycomb design. So it's not really prone to dirt or anything like that. Virgin PTFE material, making the glide just ever so smooth. Beautiful.
I can't wait to get my hands on an Endgame gear, that's for sure. And that is what this tournament is all about. Blitz series is going to be given, of course, to our champion, 5 of those XM1s, as well as bungees and mouse pads. And you can always test to the quality of Endgame gear. Like I say, it's called Endgame gear for a reason, because once you go with Endgame gear, that's your endgame. That's the optimal setup that you can go on. And the Blitz series is looking to prove that. It's a big investment there from Endgame gear and Rotobox PH. So big shout out to them for sponsoring, of course, this event. But we will be going over to the break after that amazing match. And when we come back, it's time for the debut you have all been waiting for. I've heard a certain team get signed to a certain org, and it's gonna be pretty interesting to say the least. But the question is, will they be upset by the up and coming On The Water? Because it's On The Water versus Brent Esports coming into our second semi-final. So we will be right back, guys. Stay tuned, stick around. This is the Blitz series, our first ever one from Endgame Gear.